Rachel's on lane 1. That's her.
Event number 12. Restart will be the women's collegiate varsity 4-whip. Lane 1, University of Southern California. Lane 2, Washington State University. Lane 3, University of Virginia. Lane 4, Oregon State University. Lane 5, Duke University. Lane 6, Cal State University, Sacramento. Lane 7, University of Alabama. Conditions remain ideal down here at the starting area.
Oh wow, that looks so good.
Washington
That's the
State,
reflection.
Virginia,
The starter is now
Oregon State,
identifying the crews.
Duke,
After she says University of
Sacramento,
Alabama, she'll say attention
Alabama,
and go. Hopefully not
attention,
a false start. Attention.
go.
And here's the start. Race number 12. Women's Collegiate Varsity 4.
You can say go, Rachel.
With Coxon.
No, you said to be quiet.
Where's Rachel?
No problems
That's
this
her.
time. All
She's in the
votes
front
away.
seat. That's Rachel.
She doesn't look like Rachel.
Once again, there's 20, 25 upstrokes
Right.
for the racing start. Then the coxswain will call for a shift.
That's fun here.
Get down to the race pace. Something more manageable for the duration of the 2,000-meter race. Right now in lane 2, it's Washington State, your early leader, with USC going bow ball to bow ball with them in lane 1. Then out of lane 3 is Virginia.
Yeah, USC is in front.
Spot. And then out here, Sacramento State, the Hornets in lane 6 in that 4th position, followed by Oregon State and Virginia.
Yeah, they're moving out in front.
The race takes a lot longer, of course, when you're lifting all that weight, plus a coxswain. You can really see the training and conditioning of the crews as well as the technique. 250 meters down, and now it's USC in lane 1, your race leader, by 2 seats over Washington State. And then it's Virginia in the 3rd spot, about a boat length back. 4th spot is Oregon State University. And then it's Cal State Sacramento, the Blue Devils from Duke, and Alabama. Coming up to the 500-meter mark, your race leader in lane 1, USC, followed by Washington State. 3rd position goes to Virginia. 4th will go to Oregon State. 5th, 6th, and 7th are very, very close. It looks like Alabama might be in that 5th spot. Then Cal State, Sacramento, and Duke is trailing. 500 meters gone. Women's varsity 4 with Coxon.
You can stand up if you need to.
Event number 12 we're running here at the 39th edition of the San Diego Crew Classic. In lane number 1, just checking our assignments again, it is USC in lane number 1, and there our current leader, Washington State, is in lane 2. University of Virginia stroking out of lane 3, and Oregon State University is the occupant of lane 4. Duke is in lane 5, and Cal State Sacramento State is in lane number 6, and on the far outside, Alabama in lane number 7.
The crew in lane 1, the University of Southern California. This is their A boat. The B boat was in the previous race. No early season form, nor do we have any early season form from Washington State in lane 2. The University of Virginia boat is their B boat, their A boat having been in the previous race, and we have no real form from them so far this year. Oregon State in lane 4. They've beaten the University of Victoria from Canada and Gonzaga, so with no losses, so they're undefeated. Duke, similarly undefeated. They've beaten Buffalo and Louisville. Sacramento State, again undefeated in the 4. They've beaten Humboldt State, St. Mary's, UC San Diego, Sonoma State, Mills, and San Diego State. And finally in the lane 7, Alabama, they have beaten Jacksonville and Kansas, but gone down to Tennessee, Notre Dame, and Louisville.
Looks like Washington State may have edged forward as they got to close to 1,000 meters, and USC fallen back just slightly. Then Virginia is in the hunt. Outside to Oregon State all the way out to lane number 6. Sacramento State followed by Duke in lane number 5. and the far outside is Alabama. Alabama moving along there in their crimson jerseys and the crimson crew, or boat rather, shell.
Into 515, center out.
Coxon with 4.
1,
Event number 12.
2, 515.
Go ahead, Charles.
Those of you listening to the background to our commentary here will notice how much quieter these boats are in terms of the noise produced by the rhythm of the blades going into the water and the calls from the coxswains. The 8s are obviously very high energy, very upbeat, a lot higher rating. The 4s is much more about being poised, being able to get out there, to get the catch quickly and keep the pressure on with the release and power the boat through the water. At this point, it would seem as though the crews from University of Southern California A, Washington State, and the University of Virginia B have created some separation between the other crews in the race, Oregon State, Duke, Sac State, and Alabama.
1, 2, South Carolina.
Having said that, because there are 3 heats in this event, it's the first 2 boats which are going to go through to the final. So even though 3 crews have separated themselves out, it's going to be a dogfight between those 3 crews to see who's going to get the 2 qualifying positions for the grand final. And at this stage, it looks as though it's University of Southern California in 1,
Rate 19.5.
over Washington State in 2, and University of Virginia's B boat in 3.
On this one, build it up.
We might just have a tremendous finish here, Charles, as you now just heard the coxswain up the count on her boat. In the center, Virginia trying to make a challenge of Washington State, and along the shoreline, the USC A crew, and as Charles mentioned, open water back to Oregon State, and then Sacramento State, Duke, and Alabama pretty much stroke for stroke.
Do you understand what she said? No, I've said all of it before.
Very close. Washington State are really putting down a challenge to USC. Virginia's B boat are putting themselves very, very well. At this stage, it looks as though USC and the Washington State University are watching each other and watching Virginia.
This is Washington State. It is the white shell and the dark blue jerseys. On the outside shoulder is Virginia, V-boat, and USC along the shoreline. Washington State, Virginia, USC, and then we go back to Oregon, and then Duke, Sacramento State, and Oklahoma, pretty much in that order on the outside. Back to our finish line. It looks like Washington State will have picked up the victory here unofficially. Along the shoreline, USC appears to be in that second position, and Virginia is
USC coxswain was smart about
looked out
that.
for the third spot.